I think I'm slumber today, by the way.
Welcome everybody. That's the line we come in on. I think I'm
okay with that.
Glorious.
Saying me.
Welcome to Legacies of Caine. Couple weeks off there. We're back. It's time for some adventures to continue with some Vampire the Masquerade. I hope everybody is having a great Tuesday. Yeah. If you do not remember what happened last time, Leslie found the model, checked it out, learned about it, got some information. Met with a crazy lady that was not a lady, but yet a lady or something. The others dealt with some things that were going on with their good friend Sobek, who was waylaying poor Emil a lot and using him as basically like a pass for tests, holding him out often. Like, I have a hall pass.
Yeah. Imagine somebody, using the guard's hand to like put on the security, except instead of the hand, Sobek just picks him up by the head and goes, "This one."
Exactly.
And I find it funny because he picked probably the largest one out of all of us to do this with.
Yes.
Because he's larger.
He is indeed a very large man. Anyway, now you've found that it's time to escape. You've learned that through some of the volcanic events down below, there is a way out other than the way that you came in, which was the kind of obvious, possible, crocodile-guarded way.
I thought it was a shark.
I thought it was a megalodon.
Oh yeah, I guess the megalodon is out there, but you have to kind of sneak by that megalodon anyway. Yeah, that's kind of where we left off. Sneaking by a megalodon.
Right, so we just have to sneak.
A hard time getting us from the edge of the cavern wall.
I think you're going toward the vents because it's easier to sneak one part of the way down towards the vents are, which would confuse the megalodon, and then not have to worry about crawling back up the other side, also facing it a second time.
And finding the right hole in the wall and somehow getting Nathan into said hole in the wall while he is blind. Right, so time to become some crispy vampires.
Crispires. I don't think you're underwater yet, because I think only you figured out how 3 of you can get down there. There's a 4th one that has issues. 2 of you can be missed. 1 of you can obfuscate. What's Leslie's plan to get down there?
I am the essence of night, motherfucker!
You're just gonna use shadows and just...
I'm just gonna use shadows!
And just manipulate yourself all the way down? Okay.
To hide from sharks, which I don't believe use their eyes nearly as
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll
Perfectly
see.
sound plan.
No, I think sound is the problem, actually.
I'm gonna
And scent.
shadow my sound.
Oh, shadow does dull sound. So that's
Look, sound waves can have a shadow. If there's enough of them compressed, you can see the effect of it in the air, and it causes light refraction that leads to a sort of shadow.
It's today's science lessons with Umber.
The more
Vampire.
you know.
Teaching.
You don't want Leslie as a teacher. That'd be a terrible idea. He's either coming in late to class every day, bone exhausted, or... it's just there.
Or, now students, you will learn how to summon our gods.
Have you ever wanted the power to end the life on the Earth itself? Oh, by the way, meet your new co-teacher today, Miss...
So we're headed down to the vents.
Yeah.
So you're headed down to the vents. I have to check some stuff, because I do.
Man, 2 weeks off makes us a little
2 weeks of up until 10 a.m. and getting up at 6:30 a.m. Or sorry, yeah, whatever numbers.
We don't need numbers.
2 weeks of that. I am a breakfast in my head,
Well,
What?
scrambled and toasted.
Oh my.
are you using Shadow
What-
Play
what did you say?
or Shroud of Night?
Shroud of Night just dampens sounds inside of it, which would be great, but well, actually no, sound can't really exit it. So yeah, Shroud of Night. It's a fair idea. Kent is thinking with my abilities better than I am.
Manipulation occult roll you have to make.
Thank you. What do you know the difficulty is?
7.
Perfect, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell is it called? There it is.
It was too zoomed in. I switched screens and it super zoomed in as soon as I went to the other monitor with the book.
I'm gonna burn a willpower on this because
okay.
I have a -2 from damage still.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really like this to work.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, I didn't need to, but so that's 3 successes.
Okay.
I'm going to compress the Shroud of Night though to be smaller, just around me.
Okay.
So it dampens my sounds
Mm-hmm.
and other people can still see
Okay. There's inky black darkness. Yeah.
Mhm. Impenetrable.
Impenetrable. Okay. So you're basically gonna guess, like, you have to concentrate to move it along with you.
Yeah.
How are you going down slow enough that you're going to be able to concentrate instead of plummeting under the water, because you will just, not like plummeting through air, but you will sink like a dead guy.
Well, yeah. That's the plan.
Okay. It's just going to have the black cloud sink with you very rapidly.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can't hear me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the priority.
Okay.
I'm going to sink
So-
right down to the vents, unhearable.
Could we just
And,
ask Sobek to call off his guard?
He's busy doing stuff and maybe getting angry.
Also, that was asked last time. He has no control over it.
Yeah.
Right.
He's let it loose.
Oh, actually, on second thought, I will, because Nathan can't see, I'll drag Nathan with me, make the bubble big enough for the two of us, and we'll both sink.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because the other option is having him obfuscate and try and get down there blindly, which sounds like a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so the two of you plummet down. Emil, Samuel, you want to go Cloud again? I don't know how much blood you have left each.
I have 2 blood left. Enough to do this one more time.
And then be very, very hungry and may have to have some issues.
Yes.
Oh, I know what those issues are.
Mm.
Better than 0, though.
Better than
Zero's
0.
really bad.
0 is very bad. So, Samuel, how about you? How's the blood pool?
So my character sheet's not loading.
All right. I can check here.
So,
You have 5.
I don't think my internet's doing great right now.
It seems like it isn't. Mixed bag. You sound fine. That's a good point, but that's surprisingly... Roll20 isn't working. That's just...
Well, I think you guys hear me like a minute after I say things, I'm realizing.
Heard that one, I think, on time.
No, you reacted to it like at least 30 seconds after I said it.
That's encouraging. All right, good.
There's a little bit of delay, but not a huge one.
Dang, I have more blood than everybody else.
It's nice when you've been able to just stay invisible and not spend. I'm so low again. I don't want to murder. It doesn't. Well, 3 doesn't count. Several doesn't
I'm
work.
sure that I could beat up both of you.
At this point, yeah, you probably could.
All right. So 2 fog clouds also float down. A shark seems very interested in the darkness, just because it's something weird, but it doesn't get too close, you've noticed so far. Well, the people in the cloud haven't noticed. The fog cloud people have noticed this, probably. Using their weird fog senses which exist in, whatever. Fog senses. All right.
I mean, I can see out of my own cloud.
So you'll make your way towards where the volcanic vents are. As I said previously, they kind of litter the floor here, putting out a lot of, material. There was kind of, some information on one in particular that you were going to look for, which the vent does spurt out stuff. But it seems to go kind of at, it'll spurt out, and then be quiet for a little while, and spurt out, and be quiet for a little while.
Need some time to reload.
Reload.
Gotta
I
refract.
hear there's medication that can help with that.
You have to click off screen to do that.
Right, so we're going in the crispifying vent in between bursts. You can't hear me. I'm just kind of talking to myself in my head, because otherwise I'd be going blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a terrible idea. Just gonna watch for the mist clouds to see what they do.
Give me a perception alertness then, because the mist clouds are hard to see underwater. Gotta be honest.
I still have the 3 aspects up.
Okay. So the
Or
enhanced senses.
percepting them.
Aura percepting them.
Or heightened senses. Either one.
You can roll aura perception to see if you can see them that way. That would definitely be able to have them pop out. But that takes a little bit more time to do than just a quick glance.
Yeah, heightened senses is probably a better idea. Alright, perception alertness. Heightened senses adds 1 or 2?
2, I think.
Okay, so it's a flat roll then. Ha!
Okay. You are looking around and you kind of think you have an idea of where they are just because they've been moving. That's probably the only reason you've noticed them. What are you doing, fog clouds? Emil?
Heading for the exit.
Okay. So, waiting for the vent to splurt out and then kind of slipping down into there?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the clouds will go down in there. It is, of course, a volcanic vent, but you can see that, there's, strange... you can see the echoes of something glowing somewhere in here. But you can also see that there seems to be, a kind of, side area off the edge of the vent that you can kind of squeeze yourself into, cloud yourself into, as another kind of spurt of volcanic material kind of comes out behind you. Excuse me. Oof.
Okay, I don't remember. Why are we going through this vent path? I don't remember us finding things out.
We were told this by the Fae under the influence of Nathan when he used
Right, I remember that. Okay.
antediluvian enhanced powers.
And let me
That's
put it
why
this
Sobek isn't actively trying to kill us yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now,
And also, there is an issue that getting down here, easy. Climbing another wall with 2 people, one blind, one who can't manipulate their shadows while climbing, because it's 2 different, like, you can't really concentrate on that while doing it. That's an issue. You know? So, getting up the other side and then finding the right cave, and yeah, this is the area you know about that's probably easiest to get to avoid shark-related death.
Yeah.
But yeah, you will find what looks to be a tunnel that you can feel the heat even as like a cloud, because, you know, you have some senses, but certainly you're off on like some kind of side area, a side path that seems some kind of natural other type of ventilation off to the side of this here. I'm guessing everybody will eventually follow the cloud down to that location.
Yay.
Timing it out. For Nathan and Leslie, it certainly is the most intense part of this entire thing here. I will want you to make me a... Let's see here. A check here, because it is still unnatural levels of heat. I think a stamina athletics in this case.
So
Now,
fortitude.
Fortitude would apply.
Okay. Don't die. I'm on the I'm playing with knives here.
Yep. Alright. Yeah, both of you get down there all right. You both can feel the heat. It feels as though it's like... It's that odd thing of like... You feel so strange just being underwater. It's an unusual thing. Because you're not breathing. You're not dealing with a lot of like the normal things when it comes to water. But you can just feel that like heat kind of soaking into you very well, and you kind of just are resisting it. Yeah, this tunnel here definitely seems like it is some kind of strange natural tunnel that leads off from the vent. It's still hot down here in comparison, and there's like an acridness to everything. Like, Nathan, you can see, at least at the moment for a little bit, because I said there's some kind of glow down there. Probably volcanic deep below, but I mean it is like very far down. Like these vents are apparently like go much deeper into the earth and kind of splurt out materials. The occasional small kind of like almost like the other ones are just kind of billowing out, and this one's kind of like almost like get a small kind of eruption here and there.
Mini volcano.
Ooh.
Alright, well, I guess we follow the tunnel.
Okay. The tunnel itself is probably maybe like 15-foot diameter, relatively circular. It pierces through the rock very well and has actually kind of like a strange smoothness to it. You'll go for maybe a few hundred feet before it kind of like starts to go downwards at a pretty heavy slope.
You told us the way out, so...
Can each of you give me a perception alertness, actually? Sorry. That's noisier than I wanted. No, hi, is it nose?
Oh, odd. The sheet is changed and
Nope.
the number of...
I think for Carpe... Yeah, Nathan's probably not going to be able to see anything.
I don't imagine so.
Does this involve smells?
Not necessarily.
Okay. One success.
Why don't you roll me your smell dice then separately? Just like roll 2 dice, I guess that is.
It reduces difficulty. It doesn't.
What is the reduction of difficulty?
2?
2? Okay.
Which would have. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. Nathan, there's a lot of, like, it's unusual down here because, like, there's something odd about, like, the water. It's hot. You're confused. You're being led on, and you're surprised you haven't tripped on anything, honestly, at this point in time. But again, like, this rock seems pretty smooth. Weird, like, striations to it, like, so you kind of gotten used to. Leslie, you're blind. Emil, first off is when you kind of get to the edge here, you can almost sense there's a little bit more accurateness coming from down this passageway. You'll also notice there seems to be some kind of, like, crack in the ceiling. A pretty big one.
I squeeze through it to see where it goes.
I'm assuming you're still a
Track of where
cloud.
I'm going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy for you to squeeze through as a cloud. Not much issue. You'll go for maybe about 10, 20 feet. It's hard to tell exactly the distance. And you'll actually emerge into what seems to be some kind of underground cavern. Not flooded.
Does it seem like anyone else could fit?
You think that most folks could probably squeeze through the crack? Honestly? It would be a hard squeeze, but it wasn't so thin that someone couldn't squeeze through it.
It's gonna be tight.
It's just gonna be
Yeah.
tight.
Then I guess I'd go back through and see if I can get the aura reader's attention in directing towards the crack.
Quick! Enter this crack I found.
Alright.
Do you want to try to direct them as a cloud or you? Because I gotta be honest, as a cloud is probably gonna be really difficult, but possible.
But if I change back, then I won't be able to enter a cloud again.
Choices.
Fine, I'll change back.
Okay. So, yeah, certainly, you'll notice Emil will change back from cloud, and seems to be directing you up to a crack, everybody else, well, seems to be directing Leslie up to a crack in the ceiling, and Nathan's just blind and being
Oblivious.
Yeah.
Just dragging him along behind me. Alright, in which case, I will... Gonna get a little handsy with Nathan. Gonna put hands on his waist and pick him up until he gets the idea to, like...
Nope. Nobody put Nathan in a corner.
I saw you do that. I'm gonna pick him up until he gets the idea to, like, feel above him, so he can, and just kind of put him in the crack so he can pull his way up.
Nathan, you will hit a ceiling at some point in time.
I'm keeping from hitting his head on the ceiling, as I said.
I mean, like, it's not 100% accurate. It's like a hit, but, like, you know, you'll probably have your arms up and you just, like, thunk into the ceiling with your arms and you'll be like, oh, I'm being lifted up. You will be able to find the strange crack in the ceiling that seems like, well, you have no idea. You're being shoved into it, though.
I guess I will attempt to climb into the crack.
Okay. I will need, in this case, for anybody that is not a gas cloud going through, a dex, probably Dex Athletics is probably the best one here to squeeze through. There's like an acrobatics, but I think it's under athletics. I will say it will be difficulty 7.
Is it going to be increased for me since I can't see shit? Stuff?
Not really. You could probably take longer to do it, I would say.
Okay.
You know.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
That is.
I'll take it.
That's beautiful.
I'll take it.
My celerity will cancel my penalty. I'm good. 3 1s and 3 10s. That's a hell of a thing.
All right. Yeah, you'll be able to squeeze on through, and all of you will kind of like about halfway through. You will notice you'll be out of the water, and then you'll just be kind of squeezing through this kind of air. It certainly is acrid.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this area here probably be very toxic to people. Fortunately for you,
We're not people.
you don't breathe.
We're not people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Advantage, you. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're in some kind of cave system here.
As we're climbing up, Leslie, you need to work on your signaling.
Look, I'm working with what I have, alright? You can't see shit. I can't speak to you. You got the signal. Hands on waist, lift up. You found the crack. We're good.
Yes, but the first thing I did was start dancing.
I mean, that's a natural reaction.
I was very confused.
I don't blame you, to be honest. It's a suitable reaction to somebody who's hands on your waist, lifting you up. Mm-hmm. I approve.
Regardless, up we go. I hope this is the way we're supposed to be going.
Well, the other way seemed like just more heat, which... kind of glad Emil found this one. How did you even see this, Emil?
Just kind of noticed there was some difference in the water over this way. I don't know. Just something seemed different.
Excellent work. Hopefully Samuel can perhaps scout out ahead as he has remained. You look a bit famished, Emil.
Uh-huh. Also wounded.
Mhm.
Oh, you don't say. Pokes the crispy bits all over my body.
You just look damaged.
Mentally or emotionally or physically?
Some combination of the above.
Yeah.
So hopefully Samuel can scout ahead as a cloud.
Whoever wants to try to
And hopefully-
find their way through the cave system, please give me a wit survival check.
Yeah, that ain't me.
It's
Because you want to head up for one thing. That's certain.
Alright.
difficulty.
The being known as Samuel will now be controlled by the vampire Gestalt,
That's false.
as Dunce's internet is completely fucked.
Alright.
So we're gonna have Samuel go scout, because he's a cloud.
6 dice. I'm just going to roll a... Damn! Apparently your cloud is really good at scouting, because I rolled a wit survival for your cloud. Wow. Honestly, that rolled a lot better than I thought it would. So, yeah. Most of you seemingly have trouble, because the issue is, like, you're trying to avoid running into dead ends or places where you can't find your way out, which tends to be kind of difficult, unfortunately. This area here is certainly just a complex maze of caverns. Eventually, though, with the help of Cloud, the Clouds, always known as Samuel, navigating for you a little bit and scouting ahead occasionally, you will be able to start to find your way out. I'm gonna roll something here because you could get 2 successes, so that's good. But there's also some badness. We'll find out.
What if there just wasn't badness? You know what?
Then it wouldn't be a vampire game, would it?
So
Yeah.
hours will pass of you navigating here. Hours. Nathan being led around in the dark as the other 3 of you just kind of make your way as best you can, leading him. Samuel is getting you what you think is farther up and farther along. It's taking quite a while, though. Eventually, though, you will come to a point in time where you looks a little dead-endy. It seems to be the bottom of a large shaft. Now, Samuel certainly can float up there. But you will also notice at the bottom of this shaft seems to be a set of skeletal remains of a human.
Human or humanoid?
Human. It looks like they have, like, what looks to be maybe some kind of old, like, hard hat and a mining pick nearby to them, rusted.
Is there light up this shaft, or is there just more darkness?
Just more darkness.
Okay, so we're still pretty deep underground.
Yeah, you're not sure. It like, goes outside of the, like, the area you can see how high it goes up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious that this person fell down here, like a really far fall.
Definitely impact.
Yeah. But obviously he appears to be some kind of either spelunker, maybe a miner. Hard to tell because his outfit is, like, deteriorated away. It's really like he's got, like, a helmet. It looks like to be more... It definitely looks old. So it looks to be some kind of, like, maybe, like, oil lamp on top.
Does he have 50 feet of hempen rope?
He does not.
Dang it.
What kind of adventurer is he?
You're spelunking without your 50 feet of hempen rope.
Well, I mean, perhaps the 50 feet ran out further up the shaft.
True. Right, well, this is a bit of a problem. I mean, our resident cloud there can just get up there quite easily, but I'm in no fit condition to be climbing that far. At all. I mean, my limbs are barely attached to me anymore. I'm more burnt meat than I am vampire.
At this point, yes.
And it really hurts still. Have I mentioned that?
You have.
Bastard did a number with his movie. Right, so... Well, I'm quite frankly clueless. I don't know how the hell we're getting up there.
Well, he does appear to have a pick.
I mean, if you had 2, you could use them as climbing picks, but...
Well, one was good.
Indeed. I mean, theoretically, with our strength, you could use 1 and a hand to climb up, but... I mean, the 2 of you, pointing at Emil and Nathan, you 2 probably could make it quite easily. But there's no way I'm making up there. I'm not about to roll the bones on that one.
Or else you might be rolling the bones.
I
get it.
Good friend down there, yes.
Well, perhaps we could sharpen one of these bones, or some of these bones, to use as picks.
I mean, if he's a miner, maybe there's some gear up there.
Possibly.
I will roll for Samuel to take a look as a gas cloud. Let's see,
Samuel, the Gestalt influences you. Fly up that shaft and find out what's up there.
6 dice for perception alertness. See what I find. See what I find. I'm a gas cloud. See what I find. Ooh.
That's 2 successes. 1 success.
Yeah, 1 success. The gas cloud will return and shimmy at you.
What is that? Is that interpretive dance?
Well, it's more than you tried to do, Leslie.
Look,
Let's see.
I'd like to see you try and do better underwater, Nathan.
I communicated with Emil fairly well.
I mean, he could probably turn back. He's got enough blood, he could gas cloud again. Samuel still has 4.
I don't think that's for the best.
Yeah,
because,
no,
we might need to get into a fight, and the more of us who have blood to spare, the better.
Yeah. The interpretive dance was Leslie being a shithead.
Yeah. There's
he
something
gets
up there. Whether it's helpful or not, yeah, a gas cloud can't grab it.
It's like I'm looking at any of my abilities to see if there's anything that can get me up there.
See, I would be looking at my abilities, but I can't use any of them without killing, that's all.
You might be athletic enough to just climb the wall, like free climb it.
I probably could, actually, my character.
That's something that you could think about.
Athletic.
I mean, my character is athletic enough to free climb it if he weren't burnt to a crisp.
So that's the
doesn't
thing,
count.
messing up and falling means I have very big issues.
Yes. Well, it won't remove your blood. It would just, the other effect of,
I'm already at mold.
Okay. Yes, you would probably be asleep.
I can do the trick from that I pulled in when we were dealing with Smiche. If I have enough blood for it, hang on a second. Point, simple manipulation point. Okay. I'm gonna try and Spider-Man my way up this again.
Okay.
Down to 3 blood.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna manipulation occult this. Difficulty 7. Yeah. Do I spend one of my last 2 willpower? Yes. Yeah, I don't want to die. Yeah, I spend the willpower. Okay, so 1 guaranteed success. Full modifier -2. Difficulty 7. I keep using willpower, but I don't need it apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna concentrate for a second, and 3 shadow tentacles are going to spring out of his back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need. Yes.
Keep using that.
Well, I'd rather prefer not being dead or stuck at the bottom of a shaft with our friend Mr. Bones over there. I'd like off his wild ride, to be honest.
Suppose.
And,
I'm
crispy as I may
registering
be,
my complaint.
these 3 are not. And that is more strength to get me up that shaft.
Fair enough.
I mean, you can free climb it. You can climb it with the aid of that pick. Hopefully.
I certainly hope so.
Alright. Who
Alright.
wants to try first?
What's the climbing roll for me?
All right. It will be, of course, I think in this case, strength, athletics. You're, for climbing up, and I'm put the difficulty of this wall. It's
Can I
not.
use my specialty of powerful arms?
I think so, actually, in this case, since you're going to be lifting yourself up using your arms. Sure. Difficult.
Doesn't that just make it so I reroll 10s?
It just makes it that 10's count as 2. Remember, we checked that out?
Right. That's what it was.
D20 is a little different than the earlier ones, which I was thinking of. I think originally was reroll 10s. I'm pretty sure they did switch it at some point in time, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it was I remember now. Yeah.
So, anyway, yes, and it will be difficulty 8 for free climbing. I'll say 7 for you, Nathan, since you have the pick, which will help.
I'm
All right.
dead.
Oof.
Okay, we'll wait on that for a second. Nathan.
And I attempt to catch him. Or is it still pitch black and I can't see anything?
You could attempt to catch him. It would be very difficult, though, because it is kind of pitch black. But you would probably hear something if he's climbing ahead of you.
Okay. Well, what kind of roll would that be?
Well, why don't you roll to see how well you were climbing to begin with, and that'll also make a that might make a determination on how much that will be.
Fair enough.
Okay. Well, Nathan, you have currently not gotten off the ground. You've been having some trouble actually getting a foothold. Emil started climbing up, and was kind of like out of your area, where you hear like this noise above, like "Wah-ha!"
Okay.
You could try to catch him, but he'd be
I would like to try to catch him.
okay. All right. Then give me a Dex Athletics, we'll say.
Oh, goody. Do I get to use my lightning reflexes specialty?
You do. Lightning Reflexes
Okay.
would certainly apply to this one.
And what's the difficulty?
8, because you can't really see. But you'll blow it out of the water, which is great. Okay. So I will need both of you to roll me a soak check. So fortitude, stamina, fortitude. But certainly, like, you not only do you like catch him to like kind of break his fall a bit, you kind of like manage to kind of like roll back a little with it to try to absorb some of the impact too. So it would be less that you would be taking. I need to look up something.
Well,
Okay. Doesn't mean anything yet. I haven't rolled. But I also need one from Emil. Because you are still fallen. Free fallen. Okay. Now if this PDF would only actually load and not get like...
On the plus side, bludgeoning damage is halved, so...
Bludgeoning damage is halved.
That still won't help.
Hmm. Okay. Actually, yeah. Thanks to Nathan's quick wit and a little bit of luck, neither of you take any damage. But some other things are happening. Some noticeable things. Okay. Rocks fall. Does everyone die? Let's find out.
God damn it!
after this break,
That sounds like a perfect point for it. But those botches on the climb caused some rocks to fall. Anyway, snack, drink, bathroom break. If you need to do that, go ahead and do it. I'll be back in a minute. Burp. Burp. Rocks fall!
Ah!
Samuel's
Some people
okay because
die.
he's a gas cloud. And Mist is not affected by rocks. Here's today's quote. Mist is not affected by rocks.
It's better than any of the quotes that happened off.
Mist beats
Oh,
rock. Rock beats play.
God, yeah, it's true. Look, I'll always remember the statement that we had in a game. Bees don't hurt rainbows. That came
Not
up.
even gonna ask.
It came up. Things happen in role-playing games, and you have to make these decisions. Anyway, rocks are plummeting down from above, as it seems there has been a bit of a collapse in part of the wall. I guess everybody give me a... I guess it's going to be Dex Athletics. Lightning Reflexes would certainly apply for
Hell yeah.
Nathan. Though I will say Nathan and Emil, you will both have a penalty of 1 die from the fact that you kind of have tumbled over each other. So you're not as good a position to jump out of the way.
Hey.
But I will say it's difficulty
Difficulty?
7 to get out of the way of the rocks. Nathan still...
I got 6.
Yeah.
Oof.
Nathan still epically, like, rolls out of the way. Poor Emil does not and gets hit by rocks. Alright. Roll some rock damage. Please roll me a stamina fortitude, Emil. Okay.
This time. And another one!
Okay. 1, 2, 3. So, good news. You're only taking 1 level of bashing.
Bad news. That's enough to make me to crippled. No, wait. No, I'm incapacitated because it stacks up. Yeah, so I'm incapacitated from bash.
Yes. I don't
You
think...
can't
Or is
actually
that
die
after
from...
the half damage?
No, you... Are all your things full of bashing?
Yes.
You aren't incapacitated. They fill up all with
You-
bashing, and then you start again from the top, and you start taking,
Yeah.
So...
Okay. But
Oh, okay, yeah,
it doesn't fill the incapacitated one.
No. Yeah, it will fill the incapacitated one, but when you're incapacitated from bashing, it doesn't actually drop you. It starts switching it to lethal, and
Yeah.
it's got different rules. But
you start again
you
from
would
the
go
top.
to you would go to crippled
Yeah,
right
I do.
now.
I do know about the. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I already had 1 point in crippled, 1 point of bashing in crippled.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then you
and-
now
and
will
so
now to switch that one will become a lethal and crippled.
No, starts from
Oh,
the top.
okay.
Starts from the top.
Well, he has 5 lethal
I'm
and
mauled
2.
I'm mauled and lethal and have 1 in crippled.
Yeah. So,
So that crippled changes to
No,
to
fill up the incapacitated first. Incapacitated.
Got it.
oh, yeah. So yeah, the incapacitated. Okay, you weren't filled up.
You fill every slot with bashing.
Okay, that's what I
then
thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Okay. What happens
thought
when
you,
incapacitated from bashing?
Nothing, as far as I'm aware, because we're vampires.
Maybe not.
I think you
Okay,
aren't
it might be a
knocked.
vampire.
Yeah, I think because you're a vampire, you're not knocked out, but you certainly have a bunch of penalties as you have that -5. Yeah.
This hasn't actually come up, I don't think, in our entire campaign. Or if it did, it was a long freaking time ago.
I just realized I wasn't applying my minuses. I should have been doing -2 on all of these. Or wait, no, because I had crippled and bashing.
You have been -5. You are in terrible
okay.
shape. Perhaps someone should carry you.
How long does it take to heal a point of lethal?
It doesn't take long, but it costs blood.
Yeah, that's the and I'm like super low on blood, so
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
Okay. One.
Okay, well, I've been fine at least for these, because they only apply to action, so I should have done it for the climbing, but that didn't matter anyway. But they don't apply to reflexive dice pools.
Okay.
Like soak and stuff.
Yes. So it would
So
cost.
these past two, I've been fine.
It would cost. It's 1 per level healed. Was it? Yes, I think it is healing.
Yeah, it's one per one, if I'm not mistaken.
Except the only difference is aggravated, which is a lot harder to heal.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
I think aggravated also takes time. You can only heal like a certain amount.
You can speed it up by using willpower. And a lot of blood. But yes, it's like 1 a day, pretty much, normally. Right now you're in a state that if you take any more damage, you would enter Topor. Because you've gone to, incapacitated from, Okay, so right now you are technically incapacitated. You can't move. You can spend blood. You're kind of aware of what's going on. You're not quite in Topor, but you're just like, you can't move your body. You're so beat up. You're just like, oh god.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not like
so I
human
just-
incapacitated, which would be in consciousness. You're just blurred out. Because you are still mental, because you can still spend blood to try to do things like heal.
Does anyone
Okay,
have
yeah,
any
that's what it
best
is.
objections to me giving him a bit of blood?
No?
I can feel what you're feeling to some degree, Emil, so if you are violently against this idea, I would know. In a very general, vague sense.
So far, what? Leslie shared some blood with Emil, so Nathan sharing some blood.
I think yeah.
Was it?
No, I think I've shared some with Leslie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you shared with Leslie. So now, it's blood down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd take some.
Okay. I will give you 2.
Okay. And I will immediately spend that on healing. You heal the lethal first, right? You actually heal the worst first.
I do believe that's under spending blood. There we go. Blood spending. I love how I have to do math each time for this book because, like, the difference. Yeah, I guess it would be the. Because you spend 1 blood point to heal one normal level
Bashing or
of
lethal.
damage, bashing or lethal. So technically, you'd actually spend you'd actually heal the bashing first because you'd want to get that off of incapacitated.
Yeah.
So you just get your worst done first. So if you do spend both, you'll go to crippled. You'll no longer be mauled.
Mauled is better than crippled.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, you'd go for mauled rather than crippled. Sorry, I can never remember which order it is off the top of my head.
Minus
Yeah,
2 is better
okay.
than minus 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you get a meal back up.
I very much hope that Samuel was indicating that the rocks were shaky up there. Or something better than that.
To be honest, I don't know if you'd be able to tell if the rocks were shaky as a guy.
He shimmied.
Did he shake?
I've heard they're very similar.
And do the twist.
No, he didn't twist.
Oh. But did he bop it? God.
Nothing aware.
Call
He
back.
did dab. He did dab it though.
He did dab it. Tap it.
Dabba dee dabba die.
Anyway. Alright. Gonna try again. Well,
Might as
Leslie
well.
didn't try at all so far.
Yeah.
Perhaps, Leslie, why don't you see how you can do? And if it seems easy enough, perhaps you could come back down and carry Emil
We'll see if there's a rope up there.
or that.
So for you, it will be difficulty 7 with the claw. Actually, no, I'll say it'll be just, you have, the feral claws, right?
No, because that costs a bullet point.
That costs a bullet point. Then it's still the difficulty 8, the same as Emil, because you don't have any tools, and you are free
Wait,
climbing, but you do
We
get...
could use one pick. We could use one pick. One person go up, toss the pick down, and the other person uses the pick.
You could be given the pick.
Yeah.
Things move down relatively easily.
And very easily, like, someone could call down and be like, get out of the way, and then they can crawl into the tunnel and just toss the pick down, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not to
Well,
smack anybody.
I'm just trying to figure out any thing I can do to make this easier, even with the 3 arms. Oh, you said there'll be chances to save. All right. He'll take the pick.
Mm-hmm. So difficulty 7 if you're using the pick.
And try climbing up this with 5 arms and 2 legs.
Okay. So it
I
will
believe the
be
creed is fixed now.
difficulty 7 for you, and as I said on the break, you will get 3 bonus dice from your extra limbs. So you're going to be at a total of +1 with your wound modifier.
Which will actually be +3 because I have potence.
Yes.
Potence
Okay.
cancels out the.
Yes, it does.
negative already.
Yep. Okay.
It still isn't great. But let's see how this goes.
All right. Okay. Leslie, you make your way up, and you feel very happy to have the tentacles and like the pickaxe, because like the pickaxe gets you some actually like a couple of good like holds in the wall. You like find points you can kind of jam it in the cracks and stuff of the wall, and you do manage to like choose an area that seems maybe a little bit more stable than the one that Emil climbed up.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely that seems like a good idea. It'll be a little bit of climbing to get up there, and you will probably climb up about 200 feet before you're going to notice anything. I'm going to assume Samuel the Cloud will follow you up because he can.
Fair.
It looks as though this shaft goes all the way up to the top of it, in which there's some kind of crystal formation at the top of it. It looks as though that part of the side of the shaft has broken away, though. That seems
Like
to be the only area that possibly the person that came through was. It looked like there was like another chamber that was next to this one that kind of like came over a little bit in this one, and it kind of collapsed down into this one. So there's like kind of like a diagonal, like a slope. Yeah, leading down into this like shaft with the like kind of crystal formation at the top.
So the shaft goes up vertically.
Shaft goes up vertically.
Tilts.
There's like crystal right here at the top. There's like
Yeah.
this little like area off to the side near the top where there's like a slope.
Okay.
Where there's like a collapse over here probably. It
Got it.
seems like maybe some of those loose rocks kind of were like what kind of partially came down.
Yeah.
And like fell down the rest of the way when Emil went. But also looks like that maybe that's where the person came tumbling out of.
Okay. Climb up to it.
Okay. You look to be in some kind of old mine area. There's a set of like rail cars, like a mine cart here. There's a small shack, some crates.
Signs of habitation. On the right track. Watch out down there! Is it drop the pickaxe back down.
Okay.
I backed up.
Yep. Well, probably Emil helps you back up because you're kind of blind.
Yeah.
No, I guess you know where the entrance is. Okay. Is anybody else going to climb up in the meantime, or do you want to search around, Leslie, to see if there's anything else that could be helpful up here?
Oh, I'm definitely going to search around, but
Okay.
depends on if anyone wants to try any climbing.
Emil, would you like to give it another shot? No, I need to give it a shot next.
Very well.
All right. Nathan with the difficulty 7.
And that's strength.
Or I roll
athletics,
3
right?
ones again, and I die because someone's down at the bottom of it.
That's might be how it goes again. It was a hell of a roll.
I'm going to go ahead and use willpower on this.
Mm-hmm.
And the difficulty is 7.
7. Yep. All right.
Hell yeah.
Nathan, you technically I think the difficulty would be higher from you. I forgot you were blind, but nonetheless, you still make it even with a higher difficulty. You can't really see what you are, so you take like 4 times as long as Leslie did. You know, you're taking quite a long time because basically, like, kind of what you'll do is you kind of like you use the pickaxe to kind of get into these positions and kind of, you know, like hold your length, and then like as you're holding the pickaxe in place, you kind of feel around for another spot, then move your hand down, and then get the pickaxe up in there, and so you're like kind of meticulously like kind of feeling around as a very slow and methodical, and the pace actually seems to work for you. It's slow going, but since you can't really see where you're going, it means that you're not second guessing yourself. You're probing and like taking your time, and like so you're like if you find something unstable, you're not like worrying as much about falling and stuff, you know.
As I start realizing that this works, I'm going to call down to Emil. Emil, perhaps you should take a bit of extra time and hope to guide him and help him with my excellent leadership skills.
Sure. Roll me
Woohoo!
a charisma leadership.
For a blind man free climbing, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by slow. I got up here pretty quickly. Just fine.
Not helping.
What, can't you just grow some tentacles like I can? Heard it's all the rage in some parts of the world.
All right. Yeah, Carpe. I need you to roll me charisma leadership. Sorry.
Yep.
Yep.
I was working on getting it in
Okay.
there.
Okay, there it is. Okay, it was. It was just being. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, you can give me Emil. You can't give the best directions because you can't really see, but you can give some directions. So Emil, you will have a bonus dice. From
Only a minus.
yeah, not bad at all.
Roll B7, as I assume the pick is thrown back down.
Yes. In the meantime, though, Leslie, where
Yeah.
do you want to look? This seems to be a kind of central chamber of an area of the mines. Like, there seems to be a number of shafts that come out of here. Like, there seems to be areas where, like, you're not sure if this is, like, the center of the mine or the center of a wing of the mine or something, but this seems to be, like, a large room with, like, some other tunnels coming off of it, you know. This might have been a natural chamber anyway that, you know,
I'm
was
gonna check
coming
that.
off.
I'm gonna check that little hut, see if there's any tools in there or rope.
In there seems to be some mining hats. Again, they also seem to be oil-based. You probably can find a sparker for them pretty easily.
Is there any oil left?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna take one of those hats, fill it up with some oil, and
Yeah.
go wait at the ledge for Nathan to get up.
Okay. All right. You can help Nathan up then. The last little bit there.
got a gift for you.
Oh.
Figure you might, yeah, figures you might want to, actually be able to see what you're doing around here. He's gonna reach out and put the mining hat roughly on his head and spark it.
Yeah. So it's got that thing kind of like you have to open up. It's got like a little kind of like oil thing, like wick thing that takes the oil, and so you kind of spark it, get the light on, and then you kind of close it up. It's that little bit of fire that kind of twinges you for a second, but it's not a lot, so I'm not gonna have you check on it. So and you expect it coming, and then you kind of close something over top of it, like a little like lens thing over top of it, so at least gives like a little beam out. It's not great, but it's light, honestly. And you can see a lot more than you did a minute ago.
I mean, after what's got to be at this point a near 24 hours in total darkness.
A while in darkness or low light. This is probably a lot more light than the glowing stuff that was down in the chamber before too. Like that was kind of like shadowy illumination that you could sort of see what's going on. Certainly, you can see now much better.
I've got to say that not being able to see seems to have served me better than any of you who are able to see.
We call
Mr.
that
Crispy.
luck.
Call it what you will. Pickaxe coming down.
Luck in the expenditure of large amounts of blood on various people's behalves to get you through areas.
Only given 2.
No, I mean,
Oh, other people giving blood.
yeah,
That's-
other people using blood to get you through places.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
climb up mostly fine.
You climb up mostly
I
fine.
have so splits.
Turns out that Nathan's. It's a combination of not only like listening to what Nathan was saying because he was up close to it, but trying to follow his path because his path seemed like a pretty good one, and you're able to follow it pretty well and get your way up there too. So you are now in some kind of mine somewhere. You got a little bit of light. Honestly speaking, you're in a lot better situation than you were, but again, you're not sure which necessary way to go at this point in time. There does seem to be a minecart that heads off in a direction, but you're not sure if that leads to the surface, that leads deeper from here, if there was another way that it led to. It's a lot of questions.
How many, is it on a track or is it just a cart?
It is on a
with
track.
Wheels? Where else do tracks go? Is it just the one direction?
It seems as though there are 4 directions here that have tracks. The tracks are currently like set to 2 directions that lead into 2 caverns, but there does seem to be like a little switcher that leads off to 2 other ones. You do see also that there's like some old rickety-looking scaffolding that leads up to a couple other, like 2 other levels here that have some other caverns going off of them in other directions. So those, I'm going to give you, they're probably more like areas that were being mined out, more than likely, that were off of this main room here.
Could those of you who can see better than I check to see which track appears the most worn leaving this cavern?
Take a look.
What would that be?
Probably,
Investigation?
I'd say like this one, wits investigation, because you're trying to like judge track usage by where.
You know what? Given my luck right now, I'm just not gonna roll.
And I'm gonna say also, it's this one's a pretty hard one to do because again, like none of you are experts at mining, so this is like a difficulty 9 to do that. You could try it, but it's very difficult. Not an impossibility. Yeah, Leslie, you take a look at it. You're like, I don't know. Nathan, you're fairly confident that it is one of the tracks that the cart is not currently on. That's not set currently to.
Oh. This one appears to be the most worn.
I wish I had a camera right now.
Let's try this way.
Okay.
Seems good. Let's go.
All right. So you will explore down that tunnel, and an hour later you will emerge out from that tunnel back into this main room again, having discovered that no, that wasn't the right way. The wearing just seemed to be maybe you realize, because it actually had a little bit of a slope down there, just a slight one, enough that you're thinking, like, you know, on the way, you know, you didn't notice it at first, but it took you a while, that maybe like the cart having to push it like up every time kind of like made it wear out just a little bit more.
Perhaps we could find one with a slight upward angle?
Well, our first check didn't go too well, but we've got nothing but time down here. No sun to worry about, at least.
Technically not true. You will feel tired and go to rest during the day, unless you force yourself up.
Oh, we gotta be getting close to that then, because we've been down
You
here
are
a long time.
goddamn close. I've been keeping track.
Good.
And then there's another issue. Everybody needs a blood point to wake up.
Yeah, Emil ain't waking up.
Oh, you will. And then he might frenzy.
Yeah.
He's not in great tradition to frenzy, but there's a good chance of it when he's at 0. In fact, he probably has a chance of it now, but there's not a lot of stimulus down here in the mine, so I'm keeping it nice.
All we gotta do is bonk him on the head and he'll fall right over.
Wait, what are we rolling?
Nothing right now.
I was rolling another investigation.
Uh-huh. Unfortunately, it's harder to tell on the rest of the tracks and stuff like that.
Does the difficulty go down since we know it's not one of them?
I'm gonna say not really. What I'm gonna say is you're able to tell that it looks like you're able to cut off one of them entirely. One of the it seems like there's like the two tracks that currently aren't being used seem to be more side tracks. You're thinking that the main track line is the one that it's currently on, but you're not sure which of the two directions it goes. You were able to eliminate another one, I will say.
I'm going to do a little bit of scouting. I'll be right back. He's gonna head over to the hut again first.
Wait.
Yeah.
We have a cloud.
We do have a cloud, yes.
A cloud that can go one direction and either come back and aim the other way, or stay at the entrance of the correct tunnel to exit with.
It will still take time.
Cloud takes as long as you folks do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Certainly
cloud
he can.
is not currently crispy.
That's true.
Does the cloud have its dark vision though?
Not. Yes and no. I think the cloud sort of has the senses of the person, but I feel like because you're a cloud, it's not as good. Like maybe not as range filled. You know, like you probably have a sphere of understanding using all the senses you have, you know, around you as a cloud. So like it does extend off of you, and the cloud would have dark vision, but it's like a bubble around the cloud rather than like because it's 360.
I don't want the cloud getting lost.
Right.
But as long as he just went in and came out of another one, he could go do that while I go do some other scouting. I mean, we're running out of time. Eventually we're going to need to sleep down here.
Oh.
And, well, I don't like the look of Emil, to be honest. He's looking kind of frothy. Little rabbit over there.
He's kind of moving up to everybody and just kind of like sniffing them occasionally, like, no.
Probably me most
Yeah.
at this point.
Smell the most.
You're still nice and full of blood.
I mean, I'm down to 4.
Okay. Yeah, you're only one above me then.
Hey, and Samuel's at 4 also.
Yep. I meant because he's got some of my blood in him, so the first step of the blood bond.
Something that could be done that probably will work. I have a suggestion that Cloud Samuel could probably make, that Cloud Samuel might agree to. Cloud Samuel has more than enough blood to wake up and could probably share one with a Emil if you guys have to sleep. Because Cloud Samuel's going to have to turn back from a cloud to rest. It means you won't have a cloud after you rest anymore, but...
Yeah, he'll go down to 4, or he'll go down to 3.
And then go down to 2 when he wakes up. But that means Emil will remain at 1, and each of you will be at 3.
Because it doesn't require a blood point to leave it, right?
No.
So if he's at 4 right now, he'll go to 3 when he wakes up, and he can give Emil 1 to go to 2.
And then Emil will still be at 1. Each of you will be at 3 when you wake up. And
I'm going to be down to 2.
Oh, you'll be down to 2. Well, 2 of you down to 2, 1 of you down to 3, 1 of you down to 1.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, Leslie, go ahead and check this direction, and Samuel, go ahead and check this direction, but make sure you come back before you reach a point where you might feel lost.
Mm-hmm. The fact is, you can follow the tracks pretty well. Tracks.
Hold up.
Okay.
I had 2 parts of the scouting.
Okay.
We weren't scouting down on this level. First, I'm going back to the hut and seeing if there was any notes or anything in there about the layout of this mine, or any notes talking about their work in here first.
There is something here. There seems to be a rough map of the mine that you can find. Now, unfortunately, the map it's very rough. It's kind of like drawn on, faded. It's not perfect, but it does show you the kind of route you might have to take. If you can it looks as though this is like it's a secondary core site, I'll call it. Mm-hmm. It seems like there was a primary one that was a farther up level, and they have an elevator shaft that goes down, that they had the carts go onto the shaft, come down to this level, come out to here. So when you discover which of the routes is, you're going to end at an elevator. That will take you up to the other one. It's not far to the entrance from the primary dig site. So, like, with this map, you could probably find your way out pretty damn easily, honestly.
Okay.
But you have to align the map almost.
Okay, and that leads into the second part of my scouting idea.
Mm-hmm.
You said this thing had scaffolding and basically 3 layers.
Yeah, it's got kind of some basically like rudimentary like ladders leading up to the other 2 levels. Probably some pulley systems to take materials up and down with some like large buckets and stuff.
All right. Before I continue this, Dunce says that apparently they have to spend extra to wake up because of their rabies.
Oh.
Or something?
Well, Dunce could go down to 1, 2, and yes, Dunce has to spend 2 to wake up because he's rabid.
Or
all right.
I could just give him another blood point.
But that would increase, because it'd be a different session, it would be increase the blood bond level to 2.
I mean, what if I just give his blood back to him?
It would still be 1 at both of you. You could do that. You could go down.
I'd no longer really be combat capable, but I'm not really that combat
Probably
capable at
fine
the moment
at this
anyway.
point.
Anyway,
You'd effectively both be at 1 then, you're thinking?
yeah, both of our main combat people would be down to 1.
Yeah.
Instead of one of them be dead or incapacitated.
Yeah. Well, it's really like either I give a point of blood to Emil, and then both of our combat people are at 1, or Samuel gives a point to Emil, and then Emil and Samuel are at 1. Basically, we just have to decide whether, or you. So we have to decide whether we're doing level 2 blood bond, or whether Leslie or Samuel is
Level 2 blood bond is an actual blood bond. I will note that then. And you will know that, Emil.
Yeah.
You would be bonded
Yeah.
to Nathan if you did
I
that.
wouldn't. I would not.
Mm.
It's too much.
He'd probably rather risk frenzy than that, honestly. Because you give up some mental control to Nathan, effectively.
And I'd rather keep the blood in case he does frenzy, because I'm the other main combat person. I've probably got the best chance of knocking him out before he knocks any of us out.
So,
But does the map show any of the upper level
Yeah,
exploratory shafts?
That does go into the other part of the scouting thing. I'm gonna, with the arms, because the arms apparently don't disappear until I dispel them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna climb up to the other layers and see if either of them match the map better.
I will say probably not. No. Like, because you can easily tell that these shafts here, they've been certainly mined out and, you know, have some, supports put in. But they are much smaller tunnels than the ones that were down there on the lower levels.
Well, that works, because they still need to connect to the elevator.
Yes.
Are there fewer tunnels on either of these levels than on the bottom level?
No. Okay, they don't need to connect to the elevator. It looks as like they probably took things from these shafts, brought them out here, and as I said, there was like pulley systems and stuff with like buckets that they could lower the materials down.
Okay.
And then they probably load them into the cart, you know, from here. So
Then I'll head back down to the
Yeah.
bottom level.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
good news. We've got a map now. Problem is, we still need to align it. We need... One of these tunnels has an elevator at the end. The elevator will take us back up to the main core area of the mine. As soon as we find which one's the right one, we can get out of here extremely quickly. We just need to figure out which of these tunnels is the one we need.
Well, we know that the two that weren't you are not ways out, correct?
yes.
Indeed.
So we need to know essentially which direction we're facing.
Yep. There are two directions, and unfortunately, with the way the map is, because it's just a very simple, it's a very simple map and very faded. It doesn't show a lot of the extra tunnels off and stuff like that.
Is there some kind of...
There are a couple of because they do have air shafts, they do mark them, but unfortunately, it looks as though they don't have any on these lower levels, or at least they never made them. They were all on the upper levels.
Is there any sort of check I can do to try and speed this up without us having to take the time to explore each and every one of these shafts?
Leslie, you can run as fast as a Kenyan, can't you?
Through the glory of power thirst, yes.
Well, how
Well-
long would it take you to explore down one of these paths?
Depends on how far the paths are, to be honest. And also, I can't actually run at full speed. I'm still faster than a human, for the most part, but, you know, crispy legs aren't quite as good as running it as non-crispy legs. I feel like a bit of Kentucky Fried Chicken, to be honest. What?
Why don't you move as fast as you can down one of the paths?
You can't
And-
catch me, I'm the Shadow Man.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And let's have Samuel explore the other path as a cloud.
And you can always intercept him.
Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna start sprinting
From-
around
from when-
tunnels.
Okay, from when you entered into here, on the side of this, side of this, almost heading up perpendicular to this, not quite perpendicular, but almost perpendicular to this rail line. Do you want to head left or right?
Left.
Left it is.
Always
Okay.
go left.
Always.
In this case, you are both a good adventurer, but you will discover that your end is not the correct end.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to point out, I looked up, if a being drinks 3 times on 3 separate nights.
Oh, 3 separate nights? Okay.
Yeah.
So the same night could be okay. Gotcha.
Okay,
Yes.
so the same night counts as the same thing. Okay.
Right.
Good to know, and I see, like, it's doesn't come up much, or it hasn't come up in, this such show.
I mean, there are so many rules.
Yes.
The blood bond is very complex. It's something to watch out for, but it's complex. So
Everything in
you
this game
could...
is complex.
They make it complex just so that people tend to not get into it unless it's a very story point reason. I think that's why.
I mean, yeah, like
I mean, most of the rules don't usually come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Nathan could give Emil a blood point if necessary. But
Well,
yes,
run back.
I
out.
guess I'd be okay.
yeah, you'll discover that end. It actually looks as though that end, at the end of the tunnel, it has flooded.
Mm.
So you actually don't think you'll go all the way to the end of that tunnel. The tunnel does go on for quite a while. It looks as though they went very deep looking for whatever they were. Probably from the previous tunnel that you took, this is like probably twice the distance, this one here. And you can see that there's a number of smaller offshoots here or there.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna head back then.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean the last remaining one is Samuel's?
And that's, yes, and Samuel's probably on the correct one. But he's not back yet because, you're
Okay.
pretty fast.
Yeah. I'll grab Nathan and Emil and
Okay.
bring them down Samuel's way.
Mm-hmm. You can probably take some of the oil with you because I think Nathan will need it at some point in time because, you've already been here for a few hours and probably have to...
Oh, I can turn off the light once we've settled on him
Okay.
running down that way.
Okay, so like when you're not moving around, you'll have the light off. That'll help too,
Mhm.
and you can refill things before you leave.
I still bring a spare bottle just in case.
Yeah. Okay. You'll eventually intercept Samuel, who'll do a cloud dance for you. Maybe a cloud dab even here and there.
That's the Cloud Thriller.
I'm glad our brains went to the exact same spot there.
Look, I don't know how to do a cloud dab, but just not a dab, The cloud doesn't
Just
have
do it very
arms.
slowly, just like...
Anyway,
Do we find the elevator and get out of this hell-forsaken place?
you find the elevator. Now there's an
That'd
issue
probably
with
take
the
a nap.
elevator.
Of course there is.
It's not as bad as the previous issue, but it's still a bad issue. The elevator's broken long ago. There's scaffolding in place. This is obviously much easier to climb. There's a little bit of what looks to be kind of frayed rope about halfway up.
All right.
Probably from when
Shall we-
the thing... Well, actually, no. The rope probably still technically goes all the way up it. Well, no. Probably what it is probably a large chain. And probably, yeah, it seemingly goes all the way up in the center of the chain. It seems a little loose and stuff. Probably the other end of it kind of broke, the weight end, but it didn't quite break enough to, like, pull it over the top of the pulley at the top, So the chain is kind of like there.
Objection.
Mhm.
I'm going to go up the scaffolding first and make sure it's safe, because I have more arms. And
And while he's exploring, perhaps we should take a break.
Yes. Take our second break before you head up there. And
and before we arrive to yet another problem of, it's fucking daylight soon.
that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I rolled a d6 earlier that I subtracted a couple of extra successes from Samuel's navigation from you, and that told me how many hours you had, and then it told me I knew how many hours it would take to get out, and then you've also lost some hours in the meantime in there too, here and there to stuff. So, yep. You will. I've known.
It's gonna be a group of extremely hungry vampires coming out of this cave.
Mm-hmm. When you finally find your way out. Anyway, snack, drink, bathroom break if you need to take them. We'll take our second break here and worry about climbing up the shaft and finally getting out of this place as your adventures in the mine get close to coming to an end. So back in a minute. And click on this and click on this. Hi everybody, welcome back. Samuel had to pop out, having some internet issues, so he's gonna kind of pop out for now. We'll see what goes on in the future. I don't know. It might just be that, Dunce moved and has new internet, and it might not work. We'll have to see over the upcoming weeks, kind of how things go. We hope him the best. Hope he can come back. But if he's got to take a break and just be a viewer till the end of the this campaign, then we'll take it. So we'll see how things go. Anyway, so there's a broken elevator shaft. You can either climb up the chain or the scaffolding. The chain certainly looks like it's connected, but you're not sure how loose it is or how well it's connected. The scaffolding is old wooden scaffolding, probably aged. I gotta be honest, this mine shaft screams century old at least. What you've encountered.
I'm going up the scaffolding / wall.
Okay.
Because I want to check and make sure that chain is still properly anchored to the ceiling or whatever up there before having anyone else climb it.
Okay.
I assume it would be easier, but at the same time, I don't want it pulling out and all of a sudden rocks fall, everybody dies.
Oh yeah. Chain would probably be the easiest. The scaffolding, not too difficult either. I'm going to be honest, scaffolding, just difficulty 6 climb.
Okay. Strength athletics.
Strength athletics.
Still with the bonus 3 from...
Yep. You still have the tentacles. Haven't lost them yet.
What was the difficulty you said?
6 I gave you.
6. Alright, standard. Mm-hmm. Not a problem.
You make it up there. You do keep your eye out. There does seem to be like a couple of the logs and portions of the kind of scaffolding system that seemed a little deteriorated a bit too much. Granted, it's underground here, so there's not a lot of necessarily moisture or anything. So the wood stays a little bit better, and you tend to be it tends to be a mostly drier climate outside anyway. So. It helps, definitely. You eventually, though, will get to the top. You can see where, again, it's right up near the pulley system. It seems as though they had a basic, I guess it would be technically a small engine here. Probably somehow powered. I'm not thinking of the right way. Okay, yeah, okay, freaking, sorry. I just had to look something up here. Yes. So yes, certainly, it's an oil-based engine of some kind. It's a fuel. So, could definitely be 1800s kind of age. Mm-hmm. They had them. And it probably powered this elevator in particular. Just to get, the heavy stuff up the shaft. Mm-hmm. And then they just used hand because, why waste money on too much oil when you only need to get it up from the depths once? Mm-hmm. Evil cackle. Anyway, yeah, the engine's there. It's rusted, kind of corroded by age, mostly intact. Seems connected to this main chain system. Yeah, it seems as though, part of the weighted pulley system broke off. There seems to be where the portion that was kind of the chain was connected to the weight with seems to have broken off. So it seems like they kind of anchored something to the weight, and that popped off. So it's separated from.
If I get a few tugs.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of connected to the top.
If I give the chain a few tugs, does it seem like it's secure? Is it gonna hold?
It seems pretty secure. Still seems well anchored.
Okay.
You like, you're not sure if it could take more than one person at once, but certainly a single person at a time. Maybe it would take
Right.
both of them. It's up to you if you want to. What do you want to say?
No, it'll call down. Well, the chain seems to be secure. Just one at a time, if you please.
Who's going up first? Nathan, Emil.
Resident Cloud can go up on his own.
The cloud's already up there, probably. It's
Yeah.
hanging out. It's still cloud dapping because of its success.
All right, Emil. Go
Okay.
ahead. Hopefully I won't have to catch you.
Hopefully. What was the difficulty?
The difficulty will be for the chain. I'm gonna be honest. It's a chain. It's pretty easy to climb. Difficulty 4.
Oh, hey. I didn't get -10.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. You make it up pretty easily. It'll take a little. It's a little difficult at the end because you kind of have to like leap off the chain to get to like the area where Leslie is. But I'm sure Leslie can help you across. I'm not gonna have you guys roll. I'll just say like Leslie kind of grab you, kind of pull you over as you kind of pop off the chain, leap off of it. Okay. So, Nathan.
Is it strength athletics?
Yes. We can make it up to. Alright, you'll manage to kind of get across just the same, and all of you are up. It's a little bit of a walk, but not too far, to the, probably the primary dig site. This one seems similar to the other one, except it's much more established. There is probably 4 times the amount of dig shafts out. It goes up about 5 levels from this base area here. There looks to be some kind of actual bunkhouse of some kind here, like an old one. Maybe for... It looks primarily for, like, emergency rest, maybe medical something rather, if you have to, like, get them here before trying to, like, transport them out. It's got, like, a little office in here. This little small building. Just kind of like in general, like on-site building. Everything that's probably not controlling it from in here rather than outside of the mine itself.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you now, you can sense it's getting close to daytime. So you might be able to get to the entrance before, but certainly you don't know where you're going to be or how long it will take you to get anywhere.
Yeah, we have no idea where we're coming up.
Yep. Any cell signal now?
There's still not any cell signal.
Well, shall we attempt to bunk for the night?
Seems like the safest option. I'd rather not get any more scorched than I am, so.
Who's giving
Would
a
be.
gift to Emil?
I'm going to be positively ravenous when we wake up.
Didn't I already give him another point?
You discussed it. I don't know if you actually mechanically did. Did you mark that, Emil?
Yeah, I didn't mark it yellow.
Okay.
I marked one off.
Okay. All right.
But I'll mark that off because we're fine.
Yep.
Certainly, you'll be able to rest up But certainly 2 of you are going to be feeling, again, quite famished in the morning. I'm just going to mark off Samuel. He is down to 2.
We're about to have a repeat of, like, the 3rd episode, I would say.
Now, you were at 1 when that happened. You're at least at 2. There's only 1 of you at 1, I think, and the rest of you are at 2.
So I don't necessarily mean that it'll be me frenzying, just that we're going to have a repeat of the events that occur. Well, I guess we're not in a city this time, so
That's
maybe
true.
slightly less slaughter.
Slightly less. You know. Alright. You'll awaken at the next night. Let me just I have to think about what happened. Okay.
Everyone got out safely and happily, and nothing bad happened.
Alright, well, certainly, you can attempt the final area to get out. You will begin down the final tunnel, using your knowledge of the map from before, to head out of here. You'll see signs of animals. Bats are in this area. Okay, Emil. Emil. Now we have an issue. And I have to look up this thing here because you are certainly low on blood, and there's some nice, tasty bats. Would that be 320?
Lean over, Leslie. I'm not going to stop.
I mean, as long as it goes for the bats and not us.
Right.
That is not what I needed.
I
Great.
don't thought of getting into a fight for the current condition.
Well,
Poop.
stay behind me. Should be able to fend him off at least briefly.
Okay.
Drop a cloud of shadows on his head so he can't see shit.
Please don't.
So, please roll me your self-control.
Please don't.
Wait, which is 1 dice because you can't roll more self-control than you have blood.
Can't you?
Nope.
I thought that was
I was just. But it's the one thing that Okay. Blood pool also affects self-control or instinct rolls, which come into play when the character frenzy comes in. The player may never roll more dice for a self-control or instinct roll when the character has blood pool.
A character may never roll more dice to resist or control a frenzy. Oh. Okay.
I think that's to control a frenzy?
I don't know. It might be. No, it says resist or control. So yeah.
Alright.
I guess roll a d10.
If you have a willpower.
I do have a willpower.
That might.
Wait, can you use willpower on virtue rolls?
I don't
I think you
know.
I'm 90% sure I've done it before.
You probably can. I'm trying to it's like they talk about frenzy in a couple places, but it's like not helpful. 322, 139. That's not the right one. Jesus. It's paths. That's not what I need. Curse you! Curse you! Not telling me where I need to go stuff book. Your information is terrible in certain ways. This is my complaint. Anyway, I need to find general frenzy rules. That's what I have to find. That's the issue. Frenzy. There we go.
Sometimes storytelling may rule that the character takes some action based on instinct or urge. For example, stepping back from a chasm or leaping away from a patch of sunlight filtering through a window. The storyteller may allow a player to spend a willpower point to avoid taking this reactive maneuver.
Mm.
So I could actually do it to resist not frenzying, I'm guessing, but chasing after bats.
Yeah.
I don't think this works on frenzy. Just we know that imposes many players that the storyteller's discretion.
Okay, I'm gonna say this one probably.
Oh. I'll be right back.
Okay, he's got his call. He is still at 1 blood, so I'm gonna say for now, if I think he's spending a willpower point. We'll say he's okay. I'm just gonna say that. He spends the willpower. We'll say he's okay. You know, there's the temptation of going on, holding it back. Okay. That way I'll not worry about this too much.
And now the 3 of us, non-frenzy, are still going to go devour the bats. At least I am.
It's really hard to get the bats. Oh, well, Samuel's also no longer a fog cloud. That's right.
I have shadow arms. I'm going to jump at them running full speed.
They're tiny bats. They probably have less blood in them than rats. I'm going to be honest. Samuel will probably suggest that he can summon a large animal to devour once you get outside.
Fair. I'm gonna need to just spend an entire night going around a city just slurping everybody dry.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You'll manage to find where the bats are exiting.
I was way faster than you should have been.
So,
Getting.
it seems like there is one final issue facing you. Before the 4 of you. It seems as though that the original mine entrance has collapsed. Except for a small area where it seems like bats are flying in and out of. It's a little higher up, so you'd have to move some rubble out of the way or climb up and climb out through the bat tunnel.
Alright. Do you just want me to roll my die?
No, I said you should be fine for now if you spend a willpower.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be honest.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll just leave it be for now.
Climbing to the bat tunnel!
Alright. One final...
Come with me, Robin!
One final climb check. DC... I'll say 6 on this one. The rubble that fell down made it relatively easy to climb of a tunnel collapse.
I'm out!
You emerge into this mountainous area that's kind of at the edge. It seems to be kind of at the edge of the grasslands, savanna, the area around here. So it's sort of like you're on the edge of the mountains. Certainly, you can see that you're kind of in leading into like some of the mountainous regions around here. You're not at all sure where you are in comparison to where you started. Gotta be honest on that one. You're pretty lost. But Samuel can call forth. What do you want him to call forth? Zebra? Zebra seem tasty. Everybody want to eat a zebra?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right then.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Charisma survival. What is Samuel's charisma survival?
Seems neat, but calling a lion or tiger seems neat is the neighbors.
Yeah. Not doing that.
4 dice. Does Samuel have...
Especially when, once again, the 2 main combat people are on the verge of frenzy.
He doesn't have a lot.
Nathan is very good with a gun, but not so
Oh,
much up close.
damn! And he'll roll awesome. Difficulty 6. He'll get 3 successes.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I GM rolled it instead of just rolled it.
Sag.
Yeah.
That's
He's got a
fine. Stream
10737. Yeah, the stream sees it. Within a mile, I think, half of the zebras in a mile respond to him.
How many zebras is this? Do we each get our own zebra?
Probably. I've looked up how much blood is in a horse, because I'm gonna guess it's about the same.
It's got to be more than a human. Horse
Oh
and
yeah.
zebras are bigger than humans. How much do you get if you drain a human dry?
10.
Oh, if this takes me back into full, I'm gonna be so happy.
Blood.
So what are we gonna do?
We're drinking zebra blood.
You're
And
drinking.
we're draining them dry.
You're drinking all the zebras. 728. Oh, here we go. A cow has 5 blood points.
What?
Yeah. Because animal
because
blood
it's
is not
as
as
nourishing
effective.
as human blood.
Oh yeah.
It's about potence.
Yeah. The bats.
Right.
The bats you would have tried to go for, you could have gotten a quarter of a blood point for each bat you attempted to catch, and it would have been difficult catching them. So it would have been a lot of work to get a blood point from bats.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, zebras get summoned. Kenya zebra population per square mile. That's actually a thing I can look up.
And then if we're smart, we drop them near some lions after we're done draining them dry.
Okay, he'll probably summon plain zebras, not the endangered gray zebras. That seems like the smarter
Probably
thing.
good.
Yeah. Plain zebras number about 750,000. Is that worldwide or
think that's
Kenya?
per square mile.
Little do you know, the landscape of Kenya is made up of zebras. The ground is just a carpet of black and white.
There's the plain zebra in Kenya. Great. Freaking, I don't know. You
Simplify it. We get zebras.
Zebras, since they're not as big as a horse and probably not as bloody as a cow. How many zebras are you eating? You could each have a zebra, and that would be fine. I will tell you that.
Then that.
Then you will each get
Yeah,
4 blood
I'll
points.
Oh. I'm good.
And there will be 4 dead zebra. What are you doing with 4 dead zebra?
Well, 3, because wait, Nathan, can Nathan eat zebra?
I
Get
haven't.
paid the zebra?
I don't like where that goes.
Not exact.
Can you? I'm not sure where to go with that one there.
My mouth is working faster than my brain was.
No. Let me check this here.
You
Not
have
the
to
other
pay
part
it?
of your curse. All I remembered was the money, and then as soon as I said the money,
The answer is he can't drink any zebra.
oh,
Nathan has the
Oh,
issue
shit.
that, yes, he can't drink any, but isn't Nathan at like 3? No, he's at 2 also, aren't you?
Nope. He is at 2.
So he has to hopefully find some people to, you know.
Wait. Hold up. I drink Nathan's zebra, and I give Nathan blood.
Yeah, no.
It's not even blood bond. It's first level.
Yeah,
It
remember
still has
that
some minor
whole
side effects.
abyssal god of getting rid of the world thing?
He's like,
Look, I'm not giving you my shadow arm. I'm giving you some shadow blood. It's fine. The Sombra doesn't care about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? This could be good. Rather than focusing
No.
on one of us, me, he can focus
No.
on the pair of us. Cowardice. Sheer cowardice. I expect
Put
better
some
from you,
lipstick
Nathan.
on the zebra and give it a nice wine.
Fine, have Emil drink yours. And yours give me the-
Oh god, zebra date.
Let's have Emil drink it, and we'll see if I need it.
I'll drink it then.
Shadow there, shadow.
Or more.
I'm terrified of the things that move in the dark. You're a dark walker!
So, at least 3 of you have some more blood.
Yep.
I'm at least up to 6, so that's something. I can at least fight now. How long does a single level of aggravated take to get off again?
Oh boy. You need to rest for some time, and then you can spend 5 blood to get rid of 1, or you can spend 5 blood and a willpower, and I don't think it's 5 blood after that, some extra blood to get rid of more of them. You want another zebra? Honestly, maybe we need another zebra.
Yeah, I'd love another zebra.
Meanwhile, Emil, perhaps you could do some scouting as something other than yourself.
Yeah.
A bird, perhaps.
Well, not a bird, but a bat, yes.
Excellent.
And I'm gonna rest and get rid of some of this. Oh, I'm gonna get rid of a single level of this. Because it takes 5 blood. And so that's another zebra. I'm down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Down to 5 blood.
So there's 4 dead zebras then.
I'm no longer wounded.
Mm.
I'm down to injured. I still have 3
5.
level. Ah, yes.
5 dead zebras.
5 dead zebras.
5 dead zebras, I'm sorry. Yes, 5 dead zebras.
But I only have 3 levels of aggravated.
Progress!
Worth it.
I don't have a -2
What are you
anymore. I
doing
only
with
have a
5 dead
-1.
zebras? There are 5 very dead zebras.
I'm gonna scout around as a bat.
Well, we could drop the zebras down the mine shaft.
That's actually.
I was thinking see if we can find some lions or tigers. Don't think we'll find any bears on mine. But
Do you want to fight them?
no, I want to
Obviously-
drop the drop
Right.
the zebras near them, and they can eat them, and there won't be some random stranger who comes across 5 bloodless zebra corpses.
Given the state of the mine shaft, I don't think there's much danger of anyone running across them.
Better safe than sorry when it comes to the Masquerade.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna probably be difficult to get a zebra into the area where, like, the bats came out of.
Yeah, we did crawl out of a bat tunnel.
Yeah, it basically was like the mine shaft entrance collapsed, but part of it stayed just enough open for bats to come in and out, which you climbed up through.
I mean, I could activate my super sharp claws and press up and throw the bits.
No. I mean, if you want to do that, if you want to spend your day doing that, go right ahead. I don't feel like handling zebra chunks all day long.
First, I'm gonna
The suit's already... the suit's already... pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure at this point, he just took whatever fabric he had and wrapped around his waist as a loincloth.
Honestly, let's see where we are. If we're anywhere close to a civilization, then, well,
Civilization is probably not the best place to go. The best place to go is probably for you to find the bus and bring it here.
I've been drunk enough. Bus.
The bus.
Bus.
Samuel summons forth hyenas to eat your zebras.
Yeah, that's what they sound like.
That works.
I just rolled another awesome summon roll. He summons like an entire family of zebras, you know, or hyenas that just start eating the crap out of the blood-drained.
They now worship Samuel as their food-giving god for the bounty he has provided.
Good thinking.
I'm gonna turn into a bat and go fly around and see if I can find the bus, or at least figure out where we are.
Cool. Give me I'll say perception survival. Judge kind of where you're at. We'll say this is difficulty 7. Just to get an idea of some things. You're going from the air, so it does give you an advantage. Much easier from just on the ground.
Does my perception attentive work here?
Well, you still got enough regardless, anyway.
Yeah, it'd just be 3.
Yeah. Alright, yeah. You realize that you aren't quite near where the bus is, probably, but you have an idea of where it might be. You're assuming if it's moved back to the area where you were parked for the previous night when you withdrew from the lake, you have an idea of how to get there. It's probably ways away. Honestly, did one of you have a waterproof satellite phone, or is it just...
I don't have a waterproof satellite phone. I have a waterproof regular phone.
Yeah, that doesn't really help. You're still in the middle of nowhere, so you're not really getting great cell signal.
I mean, we have a rough general direction.
Perhaps we could run as fast as Kenyans.
Maybe. Wow. Bamf, 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 bamf.
Well, leave it here.
But
Oh, if only.
you will be able to make it back to the bus. To a very relieved Candy and Dawn and Ryan, who are like, where the hell have you been? It's been like an entire day that you've been missing.
One of us shows up in a loincloth and crispy. One of us
Probably shows up with a mask on and acquires suits for the rest.
That works.
And then takes them back out into the brush so that the rest of us don't show up as distressing.
I mean, honestly,
As we might
all of
otherwise
you were
be.
really distressed. You were like hours having your clothes under the water and then out of the water and like trudging through caves. Like none of you are in really good shape. You're all horrifically disheveled, probably.
I would like to point out that I have not taken any damage.
Your clothes, you're disheveled from like just travel, not like destroyed.
I can
Yeah.
see them being wet and maybe dirty, yes.
Yeah. Yours, they probably like maybe not wet now. It might have been long enough, but they're probably really dirty, mucky, kind of terrible that way. You know, it's like probably scuffed up a little bit from all the rock climbing and stuff and things like that. Maybe like not like horrible amounts of tears from damage and destruction and melting. You know, not that kind of bad.
As much as I love my suits, I'm going to get another pair of clothing for if we ever decide to go spelunking again. Spelunking in a suit, terrible idea.
Suit. You had one of those.
Now I have a loincloth.
You really kind of do. But that's probably a good place to end it there. Getting back to the van finally, in one shape with the knowledge. Well, I'm sorry, to the party bus.
Yes.
To the as the safari has been going relatively well. Like Dawn and Ryan are probably more concerned than Candy. They probably like came up with an excuse of like you had something to do to grab in town or something, you know, some kind of excuse that kept Candy from getting upset, but certainly the two of them were really concerned.
Makes sense.
Right.
Anyway,
Good session.
great session.
Yeah.
Let's give shout outs.
Excellent.
We'll do counterclockwise as I normally do, so we'll go to Carpe.
I am the CarpeDM. You can find me moving into a new house next week. And pretty much nowhere else, because that has been my life.
That's a pretty big thing, so understandable.
It is a pretty big thing. It's got an indoor pool. Did I mention?
No, you've never mentioned that, in fact. An indoor pool, you say?
Indoor pool.
An
you
indoor
said.
pool in Wisconsin.
My goodness, can you go swimming in it?
Not yet.
Oh, what a shame.
Well, I mean, you could. There's water, but I wouldn't recommend it, because
Mm.
it hasn't been cleaned for at least a month.
Yeah, that's a wait on that one there. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then, Worm.
I'm Diamondwyrm. You can find me on twitch.tv/Diamondwyrm or at Diamondwyrm on Twitter. I am trying to stream on Thursdays, although it's been so hot. I've had so little energy to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully I can. Hopefully I'll stream this Thursday.
And then, Umber.
I'm here on Tuesdays, same time.
As for myself, Tensionarv and Dracovin, it's a kind of quiet schedule right now, I'm gonna say. It's at least another week or two that Children of Wrath are gonna be on break because we're moving in between seasons. Records ended. This show's getting close to its end. Discussing Tabletop is Saturday at 2 p.m. And later on tonight on Funny One's channel, I'll be doing Star Trek. So that's another person's channel, but if you want to go check that out, that's a really fun one where I'm a player on that one. And then I've been doing some work around my house and stuff, so if I get some extra free time and I'm not doing that, which is productive, I will do some extra streaming. But as soon as that kind of finishes up and I get some work done, I'll definitely get back to normal streaming. So expect some stream schedules soon, and there's a couple of like new games in the work too, so expect those relatively soon in the future. Keep everybody informed, and hopefully we'll get back to a bit of a more busier schedule again. The quiet schedule has been nice, but I prefer having a little bit more of a schedule. It keeps my days better. But we'll leave that for discussion for another time. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you had a great time, enjoyed the adventures escaping, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Until then, farewell.
Goodbye.
Bye.